Welcome to Mainland Television Regional News. I'm Graham O'Brien, and in today's weekly news roundup, it's been a busy week for Nelson Bay's police, ending with a successful search and rescue, a located missing tourist, and finally, police have got their man or men in these latest cases. One of the men, Chasey Duncan, had evaded police for more than a month, having been at large since December the 28th, and was finally found by police hiding in a ceiling cavity on Monday, leading to a Nelson couple being charged with obstructing police after aiding and abetting the wanted man. He has been charged with escaping custody and will face a charge in relation to the original warrant for breaching the conditions of his electronically monitored bail. It is understood that information provided by the public played a part in his recapture. And people can sigh with relief and feel a little safer now, as police have arrested an 18-year-old Nelson man on Wednesday in relation to the aggravated robbery of a German tourist in the early hours of February the 4th in Nelson's Rutherford Street. The man had sustained a severe beating from two men who had attacked and robbed him. This man is the second person charged with this aggravated robbery, and he will appear in the Nelson District Court on Monday the 16th of February. New Neyland College principal Daniel Wilson has been in the job less than 3 months and was in the local news recently talking about the school, falling role and some new goals. The article brought a response from some on the online news site that left Mr. Wilson stating that only a snapshot of the conversation was printed, and when taken out of context can give a totally different meaning. So Chrissy Small went and spoke to the new principal to let him talk in his own words about the school and the new goals he is hoping the school can achieve.
Daniel Wilson, you're the new principal here at Neyland College. Now, you've come all the way from Manurewa. What kind of differences does that mean for you here?
Lots of differences, really. Certainly personal differences. My wife and our two children, myself, have lived in Auckland for, well, on and off really for 20 years. So coming to Nelson in itself is a massive change for us. We've lived in London, we've lived in Auckland. I grew up in Te Awamutu in the Waikato. My wife's from Invercargill. So Nelson's sort of quite plonk in the middle of Invercargill and Auckland, really. And look, it's just such a beautiful city and a really big lifestyle change for us as a family. So personally, it's been a wonderful experience, and we've loved every moment of the last month.
You've come to this school and you've had a look around. What is it that you really like about it? What have you seen that you think is really working well?
Oh, where do I start? Look, there's so much to love about what's going on at the school. We just had a news yesterday that we had 16 scholarships. One of those was outstanding last year. So look, there's fabulous learning going on at all levels of the school. The great thing I think I love about the school is that we cater right through from students with learning support needs right through to those top scholarship students. New Zealand, I think, is quite unique as a country in that our education system's required to teach students right across the board the spectrum. That's trades and academic, and students going off to all sorts of different pathways. And I think Neyland College has been wonderful at doing that, at creating opportunities for students from all different backgrounds and walks of life, and having a learning program that caters for everybody, which is so important, obviously, in today's world, where students can change career so many times throughout their lifetimes.
Now, Daniel, you've got some goals set now that you've been here for a couple of months nearly. What are those goals, and how are you going to try and achieve those?
Okay, so I co-constructed with the board a set of goals for the school. The school's always had goals, obviously, as part of our charter and annual plan. We had 9 goals last year, and I've refined those myself and the board have refined those back to just 3 main ones. And they're really based around the government goals for education as well. So the first one is around achievement, making sure that we're doing the best we can possibly do for all students in terms of our achievement in the classroom. The second is strengthening the pastoral systems of the school and just ensuring that every student feels safe at every moment of the day. And the third is around the cultural identity of the school and ensuring that all students from all walks of life and all cultures feel included in what we do here at the school.
Now, Daniel, we all know that throughout New Zealand we have a drug issue with some of our high school students. Is that a big problem here?
It's an interesting question, actually, because I think there are some misconceptions about the school and the community. I spoke to a member of the public the other day, and they said to me, I wouldn't send my students to your school because I think you've got a drug problem. And I said, well, where's the evidence to back that up? I certainly don't see it. I've been through the data from last year, and there were very, very minimal cases of drugs in the school. Actually, I was really coming from South Auckland, where it's not a major problem, but it is a bit of a problem. I was actually stunned at how little drugs there were within the school. So I think there are misconceptions there, possibly around drugs in schools, or in this particular school, and I think the school's been really good at, if there have been problems, I'm jumping on it really quickly and getting the help and the support and what's needed to ensure that those students are drug free as well. So I haven't seen it as a particular problem. It's a problem in every single school across the country, but I certainly don't see that it's a major problem at the school.
Tell me just quickly, what are the benefits of co-education that you believe exist here within the school?
Another interesting question, actually, because I got asked this by a reporter the other day, and she took snippets of my conversation and put them in a newspaper article. Look, I've never taught in a single-sex school, and I know that there's obviously the choice for parents in Nelson as to whether they go to the boys' school or the girls' school or the co-ed opportunities available in the city as well. And what I want is that every school in Nelson is performing at the very highest level. There's no reason why any students in this city shouldn't get the best education possible, no matter what school they choose to go to. So that's really my focus. For some students, that's going to be co-education. It's going to suit them much better. For other students, it may be a single-sex education that suits them better. The parents need to have that choice, and it's wonderful they do have that choice. And my job is to ensure that the students that choose to go to this school are getting the best learning outcomes possible for them.
Nelson has been playing host to 500 of the world's leading scientists at the McDiarmid Institute's International Conference, known as the AMN7, referring to the 7th Advanced Materials and Nanotechnology Conference, which was held at the Rutherford Hotel this week. Nanotechnology is becoming more commonplace in our everyday lives, from groundbreaking medical breakthroughs to cosmetics. Alongside and for a few weeks after the conference, the public have an opportunity to see some of the astonishing work of our New Zealand scientists through an exhibition of 50 images from their nanotechnology research, which can be viewed at the Nelson Provincial Museum in the city until the 8th of March. We sent Leonard to talk with Peter Millward, who is the Nelson's Provincial Museum's CEO, about this latest exhibition.
We're at the Nelson Provincial Museum today, and we're going to talk to Peter Millward, the CEO. Today we have an exhibition on nanotechnology. So, shortly put, what is nanotechnology and how can it be used for art?
Well, that's really two questions. Nanotechnology is really about investigating the properties of materials at the level of millionths of a metre. So these are things which are only hundredths of the diameter of the hair on your head. You're lucky you've got some. So they are the properties of the very small. And some of these materials that are being investigated by young scientists all over New Zealand and around the world have applications in things as far apart as tennis rackets, medicines, and in fact even inside the human body.
And where do these exhibits come from specifically?
Well, what happened was that about 3 years ago, as part of the annual nanotechnology conference, which has drawn 500 delegates from all around the world to here in Nelson, scientists are invited to put forward photos that they have taken, in this instance using electron microscopes, which allows them to see incredible surface detail. And quite often when a scientist looks at something at a very, very small level, they realise that it's not just scientifically interesting, but it's actually artistically beautiful. So we've got 50 prints in there from different mostly young scientists, and they were judged by a professional photographer, a person who runs an art gallery and winery, Philip Wollaston, a person who is the head of the Science Society here in Nelson. And they selected the ones that they felt not only illustrated nanotechnology really well, but were beautiful in their own right.
And why exactly do you think they have chosen Nelson as a location for this exhibition?
Well, they chose Nelson as the venue for the conference. I think they've been to Wellington and Dunedin and I think somewhere up north, maybe Auckland. And of course, what better place to be than Nelson at this time of the year on a day as beautiful as we have today.
And how long is the exhibition running?
Well, the exhibition is only on for 1 month, so I think it closes on the 8th or 9th of March. But it's also worth saying that the pictures that are on the wall are actually available for sale, and all of the proceeds of that sale are going to go to the Brook Waimarama Sanctuary, which is a pretty generous donation on behalf of the McDiarmid Institute, who are actually running the conference.
And how much do these pieces of art typically cost?
Well, some of them have taken hundreds and hundreds of hours to produce. Of course, you take 1,000 shots, and one of them is the one that looks magic. But the artworks that are on the wall in that exhibition, for a minimum donation of $150, you can put your name on it, and when the exhibition closes, it will be forwarded to you.
A Grey Power Nelson meeting was cancelled less than 24 hours before it was to take place by what some refer to as the rebel group within Grey Power, headed by Nelson's organisation's vice president. Those in this breakaway group all voted to remove Neville Mayall's membership after previously sacking him from his role as Grey Power president and changing the locks on the office. This all took place after 4 out of the 5 complaints that were still remained secret and which neither party wished to discuss had been upheld. 2 weeks ago, the cancelled meeting took place regardless, drawing in a large crowd of approximately 180 people, which some could say seemed to be a fairly clear indicator that elected President Neville Mayall had the numbers of support. We caught up with Neville to see where things now stand with his position as president.
Neville Mayall, thanks for coming in. Can you please give us a bit of an update of what's happened and a where to from now?
Thank you for the opportunity once again. Yes, well, as you know, Graham, we had the special general meeting, the meeting that the rebel group of our management committee tried to cancel. As it turned out, we had a full house at the Nelson Suburban Club, very good turnout, over 180 people came to that meeting. And of course the resolutions around trying to get beyond this impasse were discussed. I mean, just to recap, basically they were to have a vote of confidence in my presidency, to require those in the dissident group to either support that or else resign, and thirdly, the meeting gave me the authority to fill any vacancies as a result. So following that meeting, there was notice served on the 6 who in the dissident group, requiring them to follow what the special general meeting resolutions were. They have totally ignored those. So they've treated the whole thing like it didn't happen. And to me, as much as this debacle has had its surprising moments, this is probably the one that surprises me the most, because we've got the membership who are saying to this group of people, this has got to stop. This is how we want it managed. Either you support this man in his role as president or you don't. We want to move on beyond this point. Now, they've completely ignored it. They're continuing as though nothing has happened. We're now faced with the situation of, well, what happens from this point onwards? This week, I'm meeting with a representative group of the membership, because, Graham, what it's coming down to now is, as much as I've had a front foot role in trying to get this resolved, it's really now down to the membership to sort it out. They've made these decisions about how this should be addressed. They had a democratic meeting held in terms of our constitution. Decisions were clearly made. The constitution requires that the dissident group follow those decisions, and they've decided not to. So the membership now has to take pretty much take charge of it all. So that as president, I've done as much as I pretty much as much as I can, and it's now really for the membership to step up and take charge.
And as the basis of this, of the committee, what you're calling the rebel group, is the complaints that they say are upheld against you. Are those complaints, have they been dealt with in any way apart from that committee? I mean, are we going to see these complaints come out in the open so that people can decide? Will they be brought up at the AGM?
Well, there is a possibility that if we go to the AGM, there's a re-election of all of the office holders plus the management committee. There is a possibility during the debate against the motions, of course, that someone might want to refer to aspects of my performance. In my view, the complaints are just a sideshow. I mean, it's all part of a campaign it's been all about finding ways and means of getting me out of being president of the organisation. The first attempt to have me removed as president lost because they hadn't had the legal support for that. They tried to call a special general meeting in their own right just before Christmas, 3 days before Christmas. That was cancelled with 24 hours beforehand because they didn't have the legal right to do it. And this later episode, which really is almost farcical, to cancel my membership of Nelson Grey Power 2 days before the special general meeting, which was clearly an attempt to make me a persona non grata as far as the organisation is concerned, is transparently so contrived as to be unbelievable, really, Graham. But however, that's what they've done, is they've trawled through my 2 years as president, identified things along the way where there's been disagreement around the management committee table. They've brought those forward, decided to call them complaints, yep. and hence this this cancellation of the membership. The point I need to make here, Graham, is that every step of the change, that apart from my being elected on a mandate for change, every step along the way in that time period we're talking about, the management committee has supported the recommendations that have been made for this change to take place. So this 11th hour attempt to scuttle the whole thing comes about not just because of the aspects of change that I'm promoting, but because there is personnel that are affected by the change taking place, and that's what it boils down to. So yeah, so it'll be interesting to see whether or not, to answer your question more specifically, at the annual general meeting, whether they might like to be critical of things that I've done.
Yeah. We got some comment from people on the street in Nelson, their thoughts about the ongoing power struggle in Nelson's Grey Power organisation.
What do you feel about the Grey Power leadership struggle?
Well, I left Grey Power about 3 years ago because I didn't like the politics that they were acting in then. And now I'm quite pleased I did. I do have a supercard, which works just as well. But I do think that they really should sort it out. I mean, they might as well wait until the AGM and elect the president, whoever they wish.
I think that's very childish for grown-up people having so much trouble over something. I think that's utterly childish. That's my opinion about that.
I think they should leave him alone and let him lead. Yes, give him a chance.
I believe in the man who's been running it, was doing a very good job, and a few people made it awkward.
It seems that blurred lines are something that the council may have created in its public consultation process, or lack of, over expenditure of $172,500 plus GST for the beautification of Bridge Street. Admittedly, the cost has been slightly less than the originally budgeted $200,000. Casting our minds back to the last election, many of our councillors campaigned for their positions, saying that they wanted more public involvement in council decisions. But in this process, they seem to have forgotten that fact. Some local businesses in Bridge Street have spoken out about not being consulted about this project.
Right, the blue lines have been here for 8 months. Have they grown on you?
Not at all. I was just saying before to someone that I think they've actually made Bridge Street look cheapened it, made it look worse, and it's doesn't enhance the street at all. So I'm not a fan of them at all. I think it was a big waste of money, and there were so many other things they could have done. Where they got the blue from, I just don't know. And why blue striped lines? I have no idea.
And as a business owner on Bridge Street, were you consulted in any way before this happened?
There was a couple of meetings, as I recall, talking about the upgrade of Bridge Street, but not as a whole of any say in what was going on. Not that I can recall anyway, but it's just like I, as a woman, would have said against those white seats anyway, because who wants to sit on a dirty white seat? That now they've got people out there scrubbing them with little brushes. That's just, what a waste of money.
Sure. Yeah, I mean, this is what they're saying. That's what a lot of people are saying, is that we're not getting consulted. We're just getting given what council's already decided, and we have to be happy with it.
And it's absolutely horrible. Those yellow. I like the bite stands. I like the shape of them, but shouldn't they have been black or? So, and as I said, the planters they did earlier with the wooden planters and the recycled wood, I thought they looked great. That's what needed to be along here, and now we've got blue lights up and down the street. Well, I don't know what that blue light district, I don't know. It's just, no, it's just totally, as I say, I think it's cheapened that end of Bridge Street, not enhanced it.
The blue lines have been here for 8 months. Do you feel that they've grown on you?
Could be brighter and more vibrant if we're supposed to recognise them. So, yeah, maybe a bright green or a lovely fluorescent colour, maybe. Just whatever.
And I think what makes Nelson really quite pretty is the flowers. I think that is actually much more of an upbeat and a much more attractive look than blue lines on the footpath.
Oh, that is really great. That blue line over there, and it's really great, and it's very clear for the people who pass over.
Waste of money, yeah.
I don't think the change is much.
I don't think it's made much of a difference. I think that elsewhere they've done some really amazing things out the front of their frontage.
Yeah. The seats have come all the way from Italy. Do you think they've made the place a bit more upmarket?
Well, yes, they're definitely different. I can tell that they're different, and probably not overly comfortable to sit on, but I haven't sat on them, so probably can't comment. But yeah, look quite good. They're different.
I can see that there is sort of a designer idea, but they'd probably be a bit more attractive if they were actually kept clean and well looked after, and possibly weren't inside such a sort of dank kind of place, which isn't very sunny or attractive.
Oh, that kind of seat is really good because it's more people sit down. There is it's all refreshing. The air. There is no anything you learn. Just very free. It's free. It's free and beautiful.
I just think it's a shame we haven't used local artists, really, when you've got such great skill and talent here.
Yeah, I think they definitely more upmarket. I don't know if they're worth $35,000 though.
What do you think about the bike racks?
Yeah, cycle racks are good because a lot of people are into cycling now, so that's a good thing. Yeah.
And you think they look pretty good?
Yeah, you can tell that they're cycle racks, so that's good.
Racks always good. Yep.
Nice
and it's really, really nice to see cycle racks, and it's really nice that you can cycle around Nelson. It's a great place for that.
Bike racks are great, really good. Yep, those bike racks are good. Yeah, no, they're great.
I think it's great to have bike racks. Brilliant, the bike racks are great, the rest, forget about it, yeah.
Last weekend's Waitangi Day annual Kai Festival once again had a superb turnout, beginning with a welcome onto the Whakatu Marae, which proved to be a great crowd pleaser for the many tourists that turned out. Following the welcome, people went through to the much anticipated Kai time, with the hangi being by far the most popular and the first time for many overseas visitors to see the food come out of the ground from the fire pit, tasting a real hangi compared to the other commercialised tourist operations that cook using a gas hangi. Patariki Hippolyte was the man behind the feast and shared some details of what is involved in preparing and cooking a real hangi.
So we started digging the hole last night as well. So we had it all ready to go to be lit at 4 o'clock this morning. So it's been a long day, but that's what we do for a decent feed. The group that I'm with is the Whakatū Marae Wakaama club, and today was just a fundraiser for our clubs to go to nationals, help repair waka, take our young people to competitions, take our older people to competitions, and so that's really been the day.
After the break, we'll bring you the latest weather update and some events and happenings coming up from around the region.
Hi, I'm John McMillan at the Nelson Power Tool Centre. We have great prices on all the top quality brands of power tool. Tools and equipment at our showroom, 146 Tahunanui Drive in Nelson. The Nelson Power Tool Centre, the specialists that stand behind and service what we sell.
Social networking is all the rage on the internet, and millions of people all over the world visit one of the many social media sites every day, like Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. A new social network that allows you to get paid for posting pictures. This platform brings e-commerce and social media together in one place and makes it possible to make money by sharing your content online. The system is very simple to use, whether you log into the website or use the mobile app. How does it work? The website works very much like any other social media with a twist. You can earn money from the content you share. You can increase the opportunity of making additional income by connecting your other social media sites like Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. All you need to do is learn 3 simple steps. Snap it, tag it, and share it. Sign up today, http://kiwi1.igrowtour.com.
To be healthy.
Lifestyle, diet and exercise, complemented with quality supplements, can provide you the insurance vital for your natural health and well-being. With over 10 years professional experience making some of New Zealand's most trusted nutritional supplement brands, visit the O to Be Healthy factory outlet in Wakatu Industrial Estate. Over 200 supplements to choose from, free on-site parking, no middleman.
To be healthy. Caring for you naturally.
We're the team at JCar, right here in Nelson, 120 Hardy Street. Our shop is full of electronic items,
including security alarm systems, electronic components,
solar and power,
electronics toys,
sound systems, cables, and much, much more.
JCar. 120 Hardy Street, Nelson.
Sit and Be Fit is on at the Victory Community Centre Tuesdays and Thursdays at 10 a.m. at the Victory Community Church, 238 Upper Vanguard Street. School terms only. Fun while you get fitter, work at your level. For more information, please contact Shirley on 547 1433 or 021 121 8023. On behalf of the team here at Mainland Television News, thank you for joining us, and we'll bring you the latest news and events from around the region again tomorrow.
Supporting local content so you can see more of New Zealand on air.